And here we go. It's Thursday night. It's August 4th. My name is Dee Corchin, and it's our Client Coach Connection call. Super excited tonight because our call is going to be led by two of our amazing health coaches on our team. Vicki Feldman and Julie Apple are going to be leading our call. They're both executive director level health coaches, and levels in Take Shape for Life, all they mean is that it just represents how many people we're helping and a sign of their passion for helping others. So I think, Julie, you're going to take the lead, and you can just, you want to just unmute yourself?
Sure. Hey, guys. Okay, so wanted to do this call tonight for several different reasons, but as all of us were talking and kind of planning what did we want to cover this Thursday night, a lot of us have noticed as we've done check-in calls with clients, our own summer vacations, summer can be a time where it's kind of critical and that you can either, we called it sink or swim. And there's probably three categories right now that you may fall in. You're either sinking, you're either treading water, or you're either swimming strong. And I would say if you think through that, what's this summer looked like for you? Do you feel like you're staying strong? Does it feel like you're just treading and just kind of trying to stay afloat? Or do you really feel like you're sinking right now? So we want this call to be helpful for all of us. And so I asked one of my clients, Jeannie, who she has been an inspiration for me, and I'll tell you why before she just starts sharing. But I started helping her last summer, about 14 months ago. And she just rocked the program, was within like 5 pounds of reaching her goal. And then a lot of life happened for her. So she is now extremely on fire and recommitted. And I just have found it so awesome why she has continued to stay the course and she hasn't given up. And I think that that's the part that's inspiring. And I would love for you to share with us, Jeannie. I think you are on, right? Dee, if she is the 704 number, if you want to unmute her. Can you hear us, Jeannie?
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you now. I didn't know how to unmute me.
We got you.
Okay. Yay. Okay. All right. My name is Jean, and I've been on the program for about 14 months, I believe. And like Julie said, I was so excited with the program. When I first got on, the weight came off, the inches came off, the sizes went down. I was just feeling really, really good. And I found myself feeling so good that it was okay to here and there, and I could get back on the program and bounce right back. Well, the last 6 months, life for me just really, really, really happened. And I like what you said in the beginning, Julie. In the last 6 months, I was sinking. And I just couldn't seem to get that. Julie would call and talk to me, and what's happening, Jean? She'd see that I was ignoring phone calls, and it's like, Jean, I know what's going on, and it's like, yep. And then I have an aunt that Julie's coaching who was my cheerleader too, but I just couldn't get back to it. Some of the stuff, I found in my struggles that I never thought I was a stress eater. I am definitely a stress eater. I had a mom that was failing, and we had to put her in a nursing home, and the emotions that came with that were crazy. Then I had a son out in Colorado who was going through some severe problems and really needed family out there. He was out there by himself for about 7 months. So between my mom and knowing what he was going through, and I just began to sink, and my health came second. And I was just I don't even know if I can say I was treading water, Julie. I know I was thinking. And anyway, I'm going to just fast forward a little bit. We did move to Colorado to be here with my son and my grandkids. And Julie had called to see how I was doing and if I was back on program. And I avoided a few calls there because I knew that I wasn't doing right. I didn't feel good when I got up in the morning. I just felt sluggish all the time. The muffins were coming back over my, the side things there that they call muffin tops, which I didn't have for a while. And though the pounds, when I started the program, I believe I was 168. if I'm correct, Julie. I have to get my paper on that. And I got myself down to 138, I think was my lowest.
Yep.
Well, it's just started climbing. And I got on the scale when we got to Colorado from North Carolina. We moved here. And my husband told me for a few days, I don't think the scale is right. So I got on it and I said, And I was still pleased with the numbers, but I knew, you put sugar in your mouth and you start feeling it. And I can feel it immediately now when I'm off and I'm putting the sugar in my mouth. And I got on the scale and I said, okay, I gave Julie my weight. And I told her, I said, I think my scale's broken. Well, I go and got a new scale and I get on the scale and Lord and behold, it's about almost close to 5 pounds more than what I told her. And I know there's different calibers and all that stuff with the scales, but it hit me that I was really going in the opposite direction. I'm not really into the numbers, but I could tell in my clothes. I was a 14 when I started, and I got myself into 10s, and now I'm back in my 12s. And just seeing that and really realizing, they say the alcoholics wake up with a hangover. I woke up with a food over in the morning because most of my eating is at night. And I just said, I don't know, it was about a week ago now, a week and a half ago, and I just said, nope, this isn't happening. And I pulled out my book and I copied all the pages and I'm writing down everything I'm eating, and I'm just back on the program. And a week later, I am feeling like I did back in my honeymoon stage. Like I can keep going with this. Life just keeps happening. And I was speaking to Julie, and I said, it's like driving a car. You get in the car and you drive it, or it's going to sit there. And there's going to be a lot of bumps when you drive, and you just hold on to the steering wheel and keep taking the bumps, but you'll get there. You get at your destination. And my aunt, I got her on the phone, and I don't know who's on this call, but there's one thing my aunt said to me this week when I had her take me off the ceiling. She says, Jeannie, you just pull up your big girl panties and get going. So I'm just trying to encourage everybody out there, just pull up your panties and keep going, because it's going to be a rocky road. Life happens, stress happens, and it's how we handle the stress. And we can avoid it. We can, like Julie said, she knew what was going on when I was avoiding some of her phone calls. People know, and you know down deep what you're doing, and you just got to put your goals ahead and your health ahead of you. So Absolutely. That's kind of where I am at right now.
Thank you for sharing, Jeannie. That's awesome and inspiring. And I think that the couple big things are having a community around you, and having somebody like your aunt, your sister, your friends. Us as coaches, we love helping, being your encouragers and cheerleaders, but there's something to be said with having a community around you, like our calls on Thursday nights. Having people that understand your walk and are walking with you makes such a difference in the journey, right?
I didn't realize you did this every Thursday night, so I would like to be able to hop on Thursday nights when I can and be with all of you, because I will need the encouragement to stay on. It's so easy to, when you and I talked earlier today, let life in the way, and just don't want to do that anymore. So,
yeah, it's so true. And that picture that we posted on Facebook when we were planning this is the joke is kind of, well, I'll get back to healthy eating after the holidays. And then it says November is Thanksgiving, December is Christmas, January is New Year's, February is Valentine's, and so forth. And then you got the summer. And so it's always easy to just say, okay, there's another holiday. I'm going to get back to it after this or after that. But if you think about it, there's always going to be something. And you either decide I'm going to take control now, or I'm going to let everything else take over. And I think, Jeannie, that's awesome that you're making it a commitment, making yourself a priority, your health a priority. So thank you for sharing.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
And I think, Vicki, you want to take it away?
Yes, I think I have unmuted myself successfully. Can everybody hear me? Is that a yes? Okay, awesome. Well, Jeannie, thank you for sharing your story. I think it's great that you have turned things around and made some great decisions for yourself. And as I'm sitting here listening, and you mentioned something about community in these calls. You know, I always find that everything parallels everything else on a bigger scale, because I'm thinking about all the health coaches that are actually on this call and how we come together as a community, because, you know, health coaching isn't so easy either, just like the clients who sometimes avoid the call because things aren't going so well. You know, as health coaches, we just want to help. It's like, how can I reach out to this person? How can I help them? And sometimes we collaborate together as coaches because we need that community in order to be successful in helping as many people as we can. So everything parallels life along the way. And I think community is such a big aspect, and something we're really focusing on with Take Shape for Life, and the importance of community, because the reality is we're human and none of us like to do really anything alone. We're meant to do things together, and we're typically stronger together. So with that having been said, I have my client Annette on the call here as well, and I wanted her to share her story because she's one of those people who, I don't want to say didn't really need me. She just kind of took it and ran with it. And so I've been really her cheerleader all along the way. But I wanted her to just kind of share her experience, because I think we'd all like to kind of rock and roll the way that she has. But I think she's just got some great insight as to how she's been so successful. So Annette, can you unmute yourself?
Okay. Hi, can y'all hear me?
Yes. Yes,
All right.
you're good.
My pulse is racing. I'm a little nervous, so forgive me if my voice starts to shake a little bit. But I jotted down what I wanted to say this morning so that I didn't babble on forever. So forgive me, but I'm going to read my thoughts. So hello, everyone. First off, I'd like to congratulate each and every one of you who are on this journey. It takes a lot of dedication, motivation, and a desire to want to be a healthier you. So for all of us on this call today, and for those who couldn't make it, a huge pat on the back is deserved. I began my Take Shape for Life journey last December. I had just received my yearly physical lab results, and the results showed that I was pre-diabetic. When I received that news, it not only shocked me, it scared me straight. My mother passed away from major health complications, and I knew that if I didn't stop and do something about these results, that the road ahead of me wasn't going to be a good one. So I decided then and there to reach out to my fitness trainer and now health coach, Vicki. She told me all about Take Shape for Life, and I was so excited to begin this incredible journey towards a much healthier lifestyle. A little bit of background on me. I played volleyball at the University of Texas on full scholarship. So being an athlete and the expectations we put on ourselves to succeed have been instilled in my blood. So when I stopped playing recreationally about 3 to 4 years ago due to an injury, I slowly started to pack on the weight. Little did I know that 4 years later, I'd be 50 pounds heavier, weighing in at 220 pounds. Not good. So I began Take Shape for Life in December after speaking with Vicki, and had to set a goal for myself to get down to 180 pounds. I thought to myself, that's a long shot, but what the heck? What do I have to lose? Haha, no pun intended. With the guidance, support, and constant encouragement from Vicki, I did it. By April, I had not only reached my goal weight, I had lost an additional 10, getting me back down to 170 pounds, which for me is my ideal weight as I'm 5'10". I know that summer vacations, trips to the beach, barbecues, and pool parties may make it challenging for us to remain focused on our goal, but if you just remind yourself why you are on this journey, you can bypass all of the temptations. My personal experience in talking about this came in March, smack dab in the middle of my weight loss journey. We went on a huge 10-day cruise. I was nervous prior to going, as I didn't know how I was going to be able to remain on plan while away on a ship. The vacation was an all-inclusive trip, which meant that we could have all the food you can eat and all the drinks you can drink at our disposal. I thought to myself, oh boy, how am I going to do this and remain focused? So what I did was I packed my oatmeals and bars for the entire trip. I also packed 2 bottles of diet tonic to take with me, as I knew the ship would not have a low-calorie mixer to go along with my beverage of choice. I had to make conscious decisions to order the lean and green items off the menu. And I also sought out the fitness gym on the ship. I made it a point to run on a treadmill every morning before the day's activities began so that I could keep my metabolism going and so that I could remain in the fat burning stage of the program. I just had to tell myself, look, you didn't get this far to stall out, so keep going. Having seen my results up to that point was enough for me to remain focused and stay on track. By all means, I still enjoyed my vacation, but I wanted to prove to myself that I had the inner strength to not let myself down again. I was so disappointed in myself when I received those initial lab results, and I didn't want to ever feel that way about myself ever again. Oh, and I have since retested, and I am happy to say that all of my levels are exactly where they should be, back in the normal ranges. When we returned back home from the vacation, I was shocked to have lost 2 pounds during that time. I was elated, as my goal was just to maintain while being away. So for me, I just kept hearing my inner voice tell me to make good decisions and to do something active every day while I was away. It's all about having that inner conversation with yourself when you're faced with a decision of why giving into temptation, or to remember why you are doing this. I once heard someone say, everyone has willpower, but what's your why power? Why are you on this journey? That has always stayed with me. Why am I doing this? So that I don't follow down the same path that my mom chose, which wound up taking her life at an early age. I know we are all on this journey for different reasons, but just remember why you chose to begin it when faced with challenging situations. When you feel like you're wavering, reach out to your health coach. I know my health coach has not only been inspirational as she's gone through the program herself, but she's been so encouraging, supportive, and motivating throughout my entire journey. So thank you, Vicki. I'm happy to say that with the help of educating myself by reading the books, I have kept the 50 pounds off and feel greater than I ever have. Thank you for allowing me to share my personal journey with you, and I am excited for each and every one of you. Just know that the feeling of knowing you are getting healthier greatly outweighs the alternative. So that's what I have.
Wow. Wow. Look at everybody clapping for you. I know you people on the phone can't see everybody's silent clapping because everybody's muted, but everybody's clapping. So, you know, I mean, I think what just kind of hits the nail on the head is, like you mentioned, that why power, and always going back to the beginning, and that idea that sometimes when we start to feel better, that's where I think the slippery slope happens, where it's like, oh, I've done so good, I can have this now, I can do this, and before you know it, it's almost like that stalling out, where in your head, I haven't come this far to give up now, which is a very different thinking process. And I know a lot of times we talk in Take Shape for Life about structural tension, about creating that where we initiate the journey is where we feel the most stressed because something has to change. And for you, it was getting the blood work back. Mm-hmm. That's that initial shock of the impetus to begin a program like this. But I think as time goes on and some of those things ease up, we always have to be thinking about the next stretch for us that's going to keep us fully engaged and keep those habits coming that you have. I was sitting here watching you drink your water. I actually went and filled up my water glass watching you chug your water, because that's something I'm always struggling with. So thank you. There it is. But I think that is something, having that catalyst, something to kind of bring you back full circle. And then the only other thing that I want to say is that I think as human beings, we're never perfect. And I think if we know that there's going to be bumps in the road, we know there's going to be challenges. Getting back to what Julie said earlier about there's always a holiday. There's always a reason. There's always something that can potentially sabotage us. Knowing that we'll have some failures, but what did we learn? And that's something I've always learned from Dee is like, so what did you get from that? What will you do differently next time? Anticipating some of those bumps in the road, I think, can sometimes help you sort of get through them and just keep putting one foot in front of the other. Dee, did you want to jump in?
Well, honestly, there's not much more to say. My goodness. Thank you, Jeannie and Annette. I mean, great stories and great examples of just reality, right? We've got all these things we've got to face. And the thing I heard the most from Jeannie was, and I hope you guys all see this, your health coach cares a lot about you. And I would hope and I would guess that part of the reason Jeannie stayed in the game was because Julie kept reaching out. And even if she didn't return Julie's call, she knew somebody cared about her and somebody was there to help her. And Annette, I mean, there was just so much with your story that was very powerful. Congratulations on all you've accomplished. And, the willpower, why power. I mean, that's health coach talk, girl. So good job. And I think what Vicki was talking to, that sometimes we need to, the journey will get old along the way. Whatever that catalyst that prompted us to want to start the journey, as that starts to fade because we start to feel better, sometimes it just takes shaking things up a little bit or something new to get us going. I was going to see if Allison, one of my clients, Allison Eman, is on the line, and Allison does a great job of she'll use the opportunity to go find new recipes, or with the new product launch, she'll use that opportunity to kind of re-engage and make it exciting again. Allison, can you share for just like 1 minute about your journey and how you thought the summer would be easy and it wasn't quite as easy as you thought?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Am I on?
Yeah, you are.
And thanks for putting me on the spot. I didn't prepare anything.
You don't have your written script?
No, I don't have anything. Well, what's funny is, Dee has been my jazzercise coach for years, and I kept going, okay, yeah, this is something I'll do at some point. Yeah, it's something I'll do at some point. But it literally took seeing myself on TV, and it was Mother's Day. And I went, oh my God, and it was just one of those things that I was like, holy cow. Because I had lost about 35 pounds a couple of years ago, and just like everyone else, just was creeping up. And, all my clothes were getting tight, and I was just like, oh my God, that's what I look like. And so I was just kind of mortified. So I texted Dee on Mother's Day, I remember, and ordered my stuff. And honestly, the first several weeks, I found incredibly easy. I navigated through graduation party after graduation party after graduation party and did great. And then I did I literally, and I think the queen of, I'm doing really good. I think I can cheat a little bit. So, this helped me tonight, kind of saying, okay, I need to stop, thinking things like that. And, last night, I made, great dinner for my family, and, had my flank steak and had green beans, and was like, this is good. I like when I'm eating like this. And, definitely have made better choices, but just like what Dee's saying, my big thing is recipes and seeing new things and trying new things. So, if you guys haven't been on Pinterest, go on Pinterest. There are so many great recipes on Pinterest. And my name is Allison Eman, E-M-A-N, and I have a board, a Take Shape for Life board. And I've got a bunch of recipes on there, but even the new products, there's a bunch of adaptations for some of the shakes to make them like a little better. The green renewal shake, adding some different vegetables and almond milk and things like that, making it more like a smoothie and things like that. So, but I will tell you, I'm definitely, I absolutely should probably be down 20, 25 pounds now. And I've been hovering around 14, 15 because I've gone on vacation and kind of, gone back and forth. So, I definitely need to stay focused. So that's kind of my takeaway from tonight.
Well, thanks. Yeah, thanks for sharing. I think that we can all relate on some level to this. So I hope you guys have found it helpful. In 2 weeks, we do the calls every 2 weeks, the first and the third Thursday. And the next one we're going to do is on August 18th. And that one is going to be, we're going to focus about transition and maintenance. Sometimes we get a little scared, or we start looking ahead, like, what's this going to look like if I'm not using the products, or on the 5-in-1, it's kind of secure. And then sometimes on the flip side, there's the fear of, oh my God, am I only going to eat chicken and salad the rest of my life? So we're going to kind of bring reality and show how we do that. So that's something I'm looking forward to hosting with Susan Giesland in 2 weeks. If you live locally, we're having a client support meeting on Sunday, August 14th in the East Cobb area. It's from 4 to 5:30. We're going to have our new product line. We're super excited about the Optavia line. These are all natural, non-GMO. Most of them are gluten-free products. You probably got an email. It's just been incredible, the response to these products. So we'll be having some samples of them, and it's a great opportunity if you have any friends or people who might be interested in doing what you're doing. Come for the community for you, and a great opportunity to meet and bring other people. And speaking of the new product line, I wanted to have 1 minute with Vicki Black, one of our health coaches, to share her story. She's been on the program for quite some time and has always felt great utilizing the standard program that we have. And but she's gone all in with the Optavia line. And I was just shocked by what she told me today. So I'll let Vicki share with you how you've been feeling since Monday.
Yeah, so like Dee says, I've actually been on the program, I think, since the end of January, I believe. And I love the core products. I have a sweet tooth, so I love the sweetness of all of those. So when we were at convention and they were announcing it and they were talking about it, I'm going, I'm not even gonna like these flavors. I mean, curry and chili and all that. But then, we were kind of encouraged as health coaches to kind of re-engage again, and just make sure we're kind of being true to the 5-1 and actually try the Optavia line, just so we kind of know what our clients are going to be eating and as well. So yeah, I was very skeptical, to say the least, but wow, I cannot believe how much better I feel. And they're a lot better tasting than I expected them to be. But even some of them, even being on this whole program, my taste buds have changed. But as I'm trying the Optavia line, even on things that I may not necessarily naturally just like, I am feeling so much better being on them that it doesn't matter. So I know they've got, I think Dee mentioned already, the probiotics on them. I mean, no digestive issues or anything. And yeah, I started on Tuesday and today's Thursday. Yeah, so I've lost almost 4 pounds in 2 days. And I was already doing 5-in-1, but just switching to that Optavia line has been great for me because I needed that jump start anyway. I kind of felt like I was hovering at 1.5, 2 pounds a week, when I know those are normal results, but none of us really wants normal results. So I will say, I was telling Dee that I was getting a little discouraged with that. So this is great for me. But I just encourage you, if you haven't tried the new products, definitely do it, because I love our core products, don't get me wrong, but I am so excited about this new line, and I wasn't when I was at convention. So that's my story.
That's awesome. That is really good. And it parallels, it's interesting, the company did a lot of test panels, and they did do test panels with health coaches that had lost weight on the program before, whatever, had done the full 5-in-1, and then they had them go in for several months. Most did it for anywhere from 3 to 6 months with the new product line, and all had a very similar experience to Vicki. And I think it's really because of the formulation, all being all natural ingredients, gluten-free, the probiotic, no artificial sweeteners, and they are less sugar as well. The overall grams of sugar is less. So I heard just a lot of different responses from people. So I just thought you guys might be interested in that as you're preparing for your future. So any questions? We're hitting the 30-minute mark, and I value your time, but would love to just open it up if anybody has any questions or input. Well, thank you to everybody who participated, especially to Julie and Vicki, who coordinated this call, to your guests. Great job. I know I found it helpful. Hope you guys did too. And we will see you in 2 weeks on the call. Bye. Have a great night, you guys.